Coming up, we have Tosh Patel with Box out here in Silicon Valley, talking a little bit about how to transition from the military, law enforcement, emergency services, and the federal jobs into the corporate world. So stand back, relax. We're going to be kicking this off soon. Gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. It is yours truly, the corporate security translator, hanging out right here with my man, Tosh Patel from Box. And Tosh, how are you, buddy? What's going on? How's your day?
My day's good. Christmas has been fantastic. Love spending time with the kids and no school and minimal meeting. So real pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for asking me. Thank you.
Man, the life you live, buddy. The life you live. By the way, you're one of the coolest guys I ever know. I don't know if you knew this or not, but just because of your accent, right away, you become about a 10% IQ smarter than everybody else. I don't know if you knew that.
English people, we get a pass. Basically, yes, we do. So thank you. Yes,
man. Listen, I'm really pumped up, man. I'm really pumped up because you and I have spoken a whole bunch, man, and you have a tremendous background. And the really cool thing is that you have that kind of law enforcement background, and you were able to do it. You did it. You're in the corporate security world, hanging out with a big time company, Box, and now, man, here you are. And thank you for your time and trying to help anybody that is trying to make that transition from the law enforcement military world or emergency services or the federal gigs kind of come into your corporate security world, man. But look, we're going to kick this off. I need the folks need to know, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself, man.
Oh, I'm a man of many trades, to be quite honest. So I've opened a small business with my wife, help supporting her. I was in law enforcement for 14 years, just under 14 years. And then I had some friends in law enforcement that basically went to the corporate world and they're like, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me dibble and dabble and try it out. And
did they see the light? Are you telling me they saw the light?
They saw the light. And then I was like, I'll just see what happens. And I could not be happier. Oh my goodness! To be quite honest, it was a very long journey, but I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, well, we spoke about a couple of things, and I thought, man, I got to get him on. I got to get him on because you talk about some things that to me are near and dear to my heart, which is a lot has to do with technologies, a lot has to do with the networking and ERGs, and then kind of the resumes and interview parts, which I thought this guy's brilliant. So I have to get brilliant people on the show, and here you are, man. So I wanted to jump right in because we have about 30 minutes of this action, and I love you tremendously. And man, I gotta get as much out of you as I possibly can, so that people can hear, man, this awesome stuff. So, on a technologies deal, man, I'll tell you, I've had a couple of folks that I've hired from the law enforcement world, Department of State and stuff, and when I send them like an email on Outlook, I literally had a guy one time ask me, "Hey, man, can you help me with Outlook?" Email, right? I don't even know how to use Outlook. And then law enforcement guy, because we do a lot of reports when you're in law enforcement. We do reports on reporting systems, and you never really get a chance to use maybe Microsoft Word, or you're not really involved in budgets and do Excel and all that stuff. So we talked about this, and you brought up some really good stuff, man. What do you think about that?
Oh, I mean, one of the biggest things is from the world, people in law enforcement or the military, or whether it be any emergency service, to be quite honest, you go through a system. It's a program. You just dump it in. It goes wherever it has to go. But in the corporate world, it's absolutely different. There are so many different things different corporations use. One corporation will use Slack. Other will use Google. You don't know. Outlook, Gmail, how to do a PowerPoint presentation. Oh my goodness. How to create Excel shot. No, I'll be quite honest. I mean, when I came in, I was like, and I saw these people in my teams and in my company, and everyone was like doing these amazing presentations, and I was like, uh, okay.
Right.
And then what I was asked to do, and I was like, I have no clue how to do it.
Wait, you're
You
telling
know,
me that you didn't have little minions and coordinators and secretaries to do all these things for you, man, in the corporate world? I thought,
I
man,
wish, I
you're
wish,
right,
I
right?
wish. No, I
Yeah, me
totally
too.
wish. But no,
Me
yes, you
too.
have to learn on the fly, you know. And the biggest thing was, and this is very, very important when people transition from law enforcement, military, like I said, emergency services to the corporate world, is learn the basic skills. You can use any search engine. I'm not promoting Google or anything, but everything is available online. How do you do
Right,
this? How do you learn that?
right.
Use those skills and
Yeah,
learn it,
yeah.
because it is important when you have to do it, because you will be presenting to your CISO or your CIO or senior, whoever it is,
Right.
maybe even the CEO, and you got to articulate whatever you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Let me tell you, man, a lot of folks that come from those fields that you just mentioned don't really have to deal with budgets. And a lot of times you get a lot of paperwork on Excel. And they'll say, hey, you got to do this, you got to change that, you got to add this. This is how you add all your budget for the year. This is where capital expenses and all that stuff. And if you don't know how to deal with the Excel spreadsheets, man,
Oh my
whoo, hey,
goodness. No,
YouTube is your best friend, I think. And
it
now,
is.
again,
Oh my.
I am not. We're not selling YouTube here, but I swear to God, Tosh, I got through calculus. I got through calculus in college thanks to YouTube, man. I'm just throwing it out there, you know.
Oh, trust me, I got through most of my degree through because well, YouTube wasn't around when I got my degree, but basically doing very, very similar things.
Are you
But
showing your age there, man? Are you showing
oh,
your age?
you
I
know,
see a little white. I see a little white on your
you say a
chin there,
little
buddy.
while. I mean, I shaved for this meeting, but yes. Um, Otherwise, I had a Santa Claus beard for Christmas. But anyways, no, Excel. It's so important when people are like, "Can you change this?" And to work out that formula, and then convert that formula into a chart. You're like, you have no clue. And like you said, YouTube, you can learn everything. There are courses from absolute beginner to
Right.
absolute advanced
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that you could learn on every single thing. You must learn at least the basics before you get going. You know,
I had a gentleman ask me too the other day. I usually give a little bit of time, and this is I am actually selling this. It's for free, by the way. Veterati is a great veterans group that sets you up with mentors in the corporate world. So if you're in the military right now, go to Veterati. I think it's VETERATI. .com and set up time to meet up with mentors and stuff. But he mentioned Six Sigma. I said, well, what do you think about Six? I said, anything. Anything you can get your hands on that translates to the corporate world, that's big. Six Sigma, the project management. We're managing a lot of projects. I mean, you yourself, you started as one thing with the company, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, can you do events? Hey,
yep.
can you do all the access control stuff? Hey, can you do this, that, and the other thing, right? I mean, you're not a one trick pony, man.
Oh no, I'm basically a full thoroughbred, to be quite honest. Um, no, I've had to pivot quite a lot, and I've had a lot of help. I mean, and that's the beauty of the corporate world, which people don't
Yeah.
understand, is once you start networking within the company, people are like, well, we've never done this before, but do you want to jump in? I'm like, well, I'll jump in, but I'm gonna need a little bit of help. And everyone's willing to help you out. You have to be humble enough to
Oh
say,
man.
I'm willing to run down this road.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of be with me? That's all.
Oh, listen.
You
So
know,
I'm gonna I'm gonna use that to jump a little bit then to something else because you're right, man. There is nothing that can be done in the corporate world without the help of everyone that's there for you, and the relationship building inside of the corporate world is key, man. You can't just come in there and go, "I'm your boss, and you're gonna do what I tell you to do." That's not doesn't work that way, does it?
no, oh my goodness, no,
Yeah.
no. There is no chain of command. I mean, let me take that back. There is a slight chain of command when you get to senior leadership, but within your peers and one or two levels up, everyone's equal. Everyone's willing to work out and be helping each other to get the program done. Um, And that is the beauty of the corporate world that most people don't understand. Is I have gone to, you know, receptionist or workplace services team and say, hey, I don't know this. Can you help me out? Yep,
Right.
Tosh, we'll do a 1 hour meeting. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll knock it out, and vice versa. And I have learned, risk management from teams. And they've learned many things from me. It is a much of a give and take scenario as you're willing to put the effort in,
Right.
But if you just sit and say, I'm here to do just this thing, do my 9 to 5 and go home, you're not going to really advance either in a career or personally. And that's the fun of the corporate world.
Yeah.
And one of the things I mentioned to you before was like the simple things when I joined Box was when I had lunch, I would sit with other teams just
Yeah.
to get to know them.
Yeah.
Hey, marketing, what do you guys do? Engineering, what do you guys do? Oh, you have a whiskey happy hour? I'm in.
Oh,
Can I
I'm
come
in
and join
too.
you?
I
Yeah,
didn't
right,
get an invite. I didn't get an invite.
Next time I will do so. But that's how you make connections, and then that leads into other things that when a major project comes up and you make those connections and friends, that network is, hey, you're an expert in this.
Right.
I need some help, buddy. Can you
Right.
give me some help? And everyone's willing to help you out because they know if they need help, you're willing to help them out.
That's true,
It's
man.
give and take. That's what it is.
100%. Relationship building is everything in the corporate
Totally.
world, and being nice and humble and be able to give back to that community is extremely important. But if you got to go in with the positive attitude, make a lot of positive things happen, and that's all. I mean, it just makes the world go round, man. I'm excited. This is really good stuff. But look, that's the stuff inside. That's the stuff
Right.
inside of work. We know you got to be able to be vulnerable. You got to most definitely be able to work with others, be kind to others, be a good listener. You have to be out there and be a good listener, be a good watcher. You got to go in and kind of just watch everybody, pay attention, learn. Because a lot of times you come from the law enforcement military world, it's a whole other culture. So the way they operate, the way they talk, the way they speak, and all, it's totally different than when you come into yours. But now, that's the inside work, man. How the outside work? If I'm in law enforcement, military, and I kind of want to get in to the corporate world, man, corporate security world, what do you think, man? What do you think we should be doing?
Back again, not to say my age, but back when I was applying for jobs and things, there wasn't as many resources like amazing people like yourself are teaching.
Well, you're so kind.
No. Networking. Oh my God. The biggest mistake I made when I was applying was I didn't network. I really didn't. I honestly thought when I went in and started applying, I'm from law enforcement. I'm a mature person. I'll get a job real easy. I
Right.
told my wife, hey, within a week, I'll get a job.
Oh, yeah. Everybody wants me.
Yeah,
Everybody
it didn't
wants me.
happen. Everyone wants me. It didn't happen. Why wouldn't you want a cop? Why wouldn't you want somebody from the Secret Service or the FBI or, somebody from the Army or Navy? And I was like, yeah, easy. These guys, they're just big techies. They don't know anything about security. I'm going to come in. I'm going to blow their socks off. And what a humble experience it was for me, because like I went through 100 applications,
Right.
and out of that, 70% just no, thank you. You're not the right person, because my resume wasn't articulated to what the job I was applying for was.
Right.
And that's the first thing you do. The second thing is, so every job you apply for, articulate your resume specifically for the job. It's
Right.
very, very important.
Okay.
Don't have just a generic one, the boom, boom, boom you sent. No.
Why is that though? Why do you?
There's certain keywords that people look for. Do you know this? Do you know that? And every single job description will be different.
Yeah.
And your resume may not tailor for that job description.
Right.
If you put it in your resume, they're going to be looking at it. And that's the first step. Step number 2 is networking. And I have networked galore. I'll be quite honest. And there are people out there that will reply.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that won't.
Yeah.
Just network. Don't just do a LinkedIn connection.
Right.
Send a note. Hey, thank you so much. do you have 10 minutes? Do you have 5 minutes? Can I
Yeah.
just quickly ask you a question? And again, like I said, they will reply, they won't reply. The ones that reply are willing to help. I am. Anyone that, sends me a note, like, just like yourself and so many other people, it's like, yeah, I got 10 minutes next week. What do you need to know? Send me your resume. I'll review it. I'll send it back with my comments. And I do that still today. It's like,
Right.
I mean, that's what it is. But don't be disheartened if people don't reply, because it is just the nature of the world. I
Yeah.
mean, we get, 20, 30 LinkedIn requests a day.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
You know what the beauty of what you just said is this, is that a lot of us that were in the law enforcement world, I spent a couple of years a cop, you obviously a lot longer, but those folks, they're there. They want to help. Nobody gets into the military, law enforcement, emergency services, the federal gigs, if they deep in their heart they don't want to help. And I think that continues, not because when you go into the corporate world, you just don't lose that. And you're right. So reaching out to folks saying, hey, I saw your LinkedIn profile. I'm a big fan. I don't know if you have 5-10 minutes just to chat with me a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go in life. Can you review my resume, like you said? And you are right, man. You're not going to find many people that are unwilling to help out. I just don't see that in our world.
That's totally true, because we went into our original worlds to serve,
Right.
and that never leaves us. We still serve,
Right.
and it's an honor to serve and help.
Yeah.
That's why we went into law enforcement, that's why you went into the military or became a firefighter. You want to help.
That's it.
It doesn't stop. It's ingrained.
Man, that is perfect. And that is key. You have to ask. So, right now, if folks are like sitting around in their home trying to figure out, well, I can't make connection, stop being shy. Because I'm sure when you're on the road or in the military, there were times that you might have been in Kabul, Afghanistan, or just in New York City as a cop, and you had to go across somebody you never met before, and being shy was the last thing that you wanted. That probably wouldn't work out so well if you're in law enforcement or even a fireman or a paramedic. It doesn't work that way. So you got to take that kind of attitude today, and don't be afraid to reach out to folks and make that connection.
I can't emphasize that enough. You have to keep reaching out. And when you make a connection, look at that person's connections. Who do they know?
Yeah.
And make connections with those people. And then who do they know? And so forth and so forth. And just keep reaching out, because it helps. It really helps. And it gets your foot one step closer to where you want to go.
I'll tell you, and I think you're the same way, but I don't think I've ever denied anybody 5, 10, 15 minutes, and even 30 minutes of my time. I block my day out like in 30-minute breaks. Now I've noticed that I'm started blocking in 15-minute breaks, but that doesn't mean that 15 minutes will not be valuable. I think it would be valuable, even if you were to just to hear me rumble or along. But same thing for you, right? You're open. If people reach out to you, man, I know you're open to have a chat, especially if you can meet them up for a drink, which is kind of weird right now in the COVID-19 days. But I always tell people, and I also in the book, So You Want to Get Into Corporate Security that I wrote, I literally tell people there's not one person in our field that if you invited them for coffee, lunch, or a drink after work, that they won't do their darnest to make it out and have that drink or food with you.
I couldn't reiterate that enough. I mean, even I have times people reach out to me and dude, sorry, after the kids go to bed at 9 o'clock, can I call you at 9 o'clock? Yep. Okay, good. Done. 9 to 9:30. I'm all yours.
Yeah.
We're flexible. We are working. We have families and whatnot. But I promise you, anybody that reaches out to me and to my peers at Box, and I know Facebook and everyone, we'll give you the time. Just you got to be a little bit flexible, but don't stop reaching out.
That's right. I mean, because I don't know about you, but I have an extra layer in which I have to ask my wife also for permission to take away 15 minutes of her time. And she's quite gracious, honey. You're quite gracious. Hold on, let me look right at the camera, Tosh. This is important because, honey, you're the best. You're the greatest. Thank you very much. You're awesome. Love you.
Oh, I if I can do the same thing, my wife, absolutely amazing. Anytime I tell her, hey, look, I got to help this person out, she's like, go do it. I'll take care of dinner. Don't even trip. Go.
Oh, man.
Go do what you want. Yeah, I love my wife. Wife, happy life scenario. And behind every man is an amazing woman. You
That
know,
is the truth.
that's
But
it.
hey, we're gonna come. I mean, we're gonna continue this, but I wanna divert back a little bit because I gotta add a little bit of fun in everything that I do, and you and I have talked about whiskeys and stuff before, and man, you showed me this bottle that you had the other day, and it with a samurai head.
Yeah,
That's a real bottle, man. That's a real. I'm
that
not,
was.
if you want to share how much that bottle was, I know how much it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to share how much it was. That was, and this is the funniest thing that you bring that up. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were going to bring this up, but that was because I went and had lunch with the global event manager at Box,
Uh-huh.
and I just said, "Hey, look, you're the event manager. What do you do for security?" And she's like, "Oh, we just outsource it." I'm like, "Why? When you have somebody in house, why?
Yeah.
I can help you manage it." And then that basically led to the fact of me managing events, and she helped send me to Japan.
Wait.
So
So you did. Hold on. You
yeah,
put more work on yourself.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize by impressing her. Her name is Rachel Durkin, an absolutely amazing person at Box, the world's best event manager. Um, Director, actually, my bad, world's best event director. But she's an amazing person, and she's like, "Okay, you're going here. You're going to manage this."
Right.
I'm like, "I've never been to Tokyo. I don't speak the language. I don't know anything." She's like, "Google it, work it out. You're going to go do it. You're just going to go." So I went, and then obviously when I was there, Japanese whiskey. I'm English, and I'm a big whiskey fan. So it was a whiskey bottle in the shape of a samurai. It's quite rare. I'm not going
Yep.
to say how much it costs. I did not expensive Box. I paid for it myself, just so
There you go.
everyone
There you
knows.
go.
But yes, but the point being, when you get into the corp, do happy hours. If you don't drink, it's not a big deal. I'm not saying, you know, drink, but
Yeah.
the point being, do happy hours, do community efforts. There's a lot of employee resource groups in companies. Reach out to them. At
I
Box, we have Box veterans, we have Box Pride, uh, you know, so many. Facebook, everyone has them. Reach out to them. And also, one of the things is don't just stick to reaching out to security professionals.
right.
Network with marketing,
Oh yeah.
network with recruiting,
Yeah.
because you never know. You could pivot. Once you join a company, you may join as a security professional, but once you make friends, the pivot, you could be like, "Hey, look, I kind of want to do marketing." Great. We'll bring you on board. We'll teach you. And companies do that because if your culture fits with the company,
Right.
they will teach you the skill sets you need, because culture is so important. So I can't
Absolutely.
emphasize that enough. Yeah.
But out of that, man, I get flexibility. I think if you're going to come into the corporate security world, from any of the law enforcement, military, emergency services, federal jobs, flexibility is key because hey, you
Yep.
go in for one thing, and now you're in Japan doing event security. Congratulations! Not
Thank
only
you.
did you get yourself more work to do, but that's key. That's also key, by the way, in moving up in the corporate world. You can't be afraid to take on things, and you can't be afraid to take on things that you have absolutely no clue about. But you're gonna have to do some homework. Obviously, you're gonna have to go home and really prepare yourself to take on that role. But you're gonna succeed, and when you succeed, people are gonna see, man, this is the guy that I need. This is the gal that I need on my team, and they're always there, as we call it, man, Johnny on the spot, or I say it on my book, Johnette on the spot, because I just couldn't come up with the name, but Johnny or Johnette on the spot. Somebody that's always there for the corporation, the team, and making things happen.
Yep. Tosh on the spot, basically. Put that in your book.
There you
Tosh on
go.
the spot.
Tosh on the
But
spot. Actually, that even
Tosh on the
sounds,
spot.
man. I'm writing it down, Tosh. Don't do
There you
that.
go.
Don't
Thank
do
you.
that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just pivot, you work. I mean, I've worked with the risk management team, which we've never done before, just because I asked.
Yeah,
Wow. And now I'm building a huge program. And everyone does that, but never ever be afraid to fall down, because you will get up and you'll succeed and people will see it.
I love it, man.
It's very, very important. Don't be afraid to fall down, because if that fear exists, you won't go up or move up in the ladder.
That's the truth, man. Because you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna. There's a lot of something in the corporate security world. Learning is never done. I don't think in life learning is ever done. But in the corporate security world, learning is truly never ever done, man. Never.
Yeah, it's never done. And just to touch base on that one of the big programs, we've been developing a box with my manager Sapand is and with the risk team is automating the security posture of box. A lot of stuff was a manual process, and with COVID, we're like all at home. We're not in the office anymore. So how are we going to automate it?
Right.
So we started reaching out to other teams, and we're like, with other teams, they were like, well, you should learn this. You should do this. I'm like, do what? They're like, learn Python. Learn Python. I'm like, what is Python? It's a big snake. No. It's a whole big computer language. I'm like, okay, how do I learn that? Here's the classes. Go start doing them.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, Tosh, take this class, learn Java, learn Splunk. And I was like, I was confused. I was like, wow, you want me to learn a computer language at my age, never done computer languages before. Yep, learn it. You have a question, I'll help you out. Take this course. And that was so important because it just adds that extra skill set
Right.
to your portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And it helps the company, which is the most important thing. But now a lot of boxes posture is automated.
I love it, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite important to.
That's it, dude. You're hired.
Out.
You're hired, man. You're in.
Yep.
You're
Okay.
in. See, that's why you're in it, man. That's why you're in it. And man, this is so.
But it's fun. And the thing people don't realize is when you learn these things like Splunk or Java or Python, in the beginning, it is quite intimidating. You're like, oh my goodness, this is tough. But once the ball gets rolling,
yeah,
it's fun. You're like, wow. And you go back to I go back to my 14-year-old and my 5-year-old. I know Java. And they're like, what? The coffee? I'm like, no, I actually know Java, the programming language. And then they still say, well, Dad, you still can't work your iPhone, but you know Java. I'm like, yeah, okay. It is what it is.
Well, you should have gotten a Samsung. That's what,
is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, yeah. No, this is really good stuff, Tosh. Look, incredible things that you mentioned today, and everything about from technologies to networking to the ERGs. What was the ERGs again?
Employee resource groups.
Employee resource groups, man. I love that. Man, we covered resumes, interviews. We covered my Tosh on the spot, man. That's my new thing now. Tosh on the spot. I'm using it. As a matter of fact, let's do it live. I might put you on the book as Tosh on the spot. You okay with that?
As long as I get like a $5 commission for every time you use the word, yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And then talking about automating security and being flexible, because you might come in with one gig, but you might come out of there with about 5-6 gigs where you continue to learn. So that's really awesome, man. Hey, last thing I wanted to say or ask you is if there is one thing that you can impart to the wonderful folks that are coming from the military, law enforcement, emergency services, and the federal jobs as they're trying to transition into corporate security, man. What's kind of like one, two things, whatever it is that you think that they should be thinking about or doing or how to approach corporate security?
The few things I'd say is first, do your homework. What do you want to do in corporate security? There's so many different jobs out there, like loss prevention, access control administrator, running data centers, executive protection. First, what do you want to do? First,
right.
Work that out. What's your passion? Because in the corporate world if you're not passionate, and you can tell I'm passionate about it, you're going to get bored.
Right.
So first work out what's fun for me. Then number two, start working out and doing some homework on what does this job entail? What do I need to learn to do loss prevention or executive protection? Do I need to take a course? Do I need to get certified? Whatever it may be. You may be a Navy SEAL, but it doesn't mean you're certified in executive protection.
Right.
So, so do that. And then start networking with everyone. Say, hey, look, I'm interested in this. Give me some ideas. Number four, work on your resume. Make sure it's articulated for the right job. And then once you get an interview, and you will get an interview one day if everything goes perfectly, the people interviewing you, do background on them.
Oh,
Find
yeah.
out what's good about, what do they do? Where are
Right.
they from? Try and break the ice in the interview process and make a connection. Don't let it just be a question answer scenario. Be like,
Wow.
hey, I did that at Box. When I was interviewing, they send you a list of people. These are the people emailing you. I looked it
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
I found 2 or 3 people from London. I was like, wow, you're from London. I'm from London. So 20 minutes of my interview was just talking about London and how much we miss the food. And it
That's
was
it.
10-minute interview. That's it.
That's it.
It's about culture. It's about fitting in. That's what people don't realize. It's not about skill set as much about skill sets as you might think. You have to have the skill sets, yes, but you wouldn't have the interview if you don't have the skill sets already.
Man.
The interview is about the culture. Will you fit into Facebook, Google, Apple, Box, Amazon, where even Ross or Levi's? Will you fit in as a person? That's what they want.
God.
That's my advice. That's my advice. That's
That
my
is
learning.
it. That is
That's
it. Tosh on the spot. Tosh on
Thank
the man. Tosh, look, thank
Thank you.
you. I thank you, the folks out there, man, trying to transition into corporate security. Thank you. This has been an incredible chat. We're gonna have to do it again. We'll figure out some of the topics, man, and we'll rotate back you back in because this is awesome info. So thank you very much for your time. I thank your wife for your time.
I will, and always. I think your viewers will like my English accent once more. So
Yeah,
whenever you'd like, yes, always available now. And please, anyone watching this, reach out to me. I
absolutely, man.
promise you, if I don't reply back, Carlos will have me for chops. So please reach out to me if you need any help. And there's some network, and just network, please.
That's it. So, hey, closing out for this one, once again, this is the Corporate Security Translator with the book So You Want to Get Into Corporate Security, hanging out with Tosh Patel from Box. Awesome times. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.